There is nothing like jumping back into long form content than by bringing you all a post from Reddit from probably one of the worst women I think I've ever come across. This was posted about 2 hours ago in r/relationships, and you would think by the post title it's just a fairly innocuous question. How important is sex/attraction in a relationship? And before we get into the post and why this woman is so terrible, I would like to put in my 2 cents. And as someone who's been in a relationship for 18 years, I would say that intimacy, sex, and attraction are not only important in a relationship, but they bleed into way more than just physical connection. They bleed into communication, trust, respect, mutual understanding. It's a whole thing that sex and attraction correlates with in a relationship. And I think it's incredibly important that you be physically attracted to your partner. And if you aren't, I think it's incredibly important in the very beginning of that relationship that you tell that person and you don't lead that person on. It's incredibly important that you be honest and you actually don't hurt the person, even if you're not attracted to them. They don't deserve to be lied to and led on. And that's what we're going to get into in this post. With this terrible, terrible lady. I, 32 female, have never really been attracted to my boyfriend, 41 male. Never really been attracted. So she met him. I guess she thought he had a nice personality, but she never told him, hey, I don't have that physical chemistry with you. I'm sorry. The next line reads, "We've been together for 7 years and have a 5-year-old daughter." So this lady never really got, physically aroused by him, but decided to stay with him for 2 years before conceiving a child with him. Alrighty then. You are fast sounding like a terrible person. Let's keep going. In the beginning, I continued to date him because we had a good time together otherwise. So, other than me not finding him physically attractive and not enjoying sex with him at all and, not wanting to do it with him, I had a really good time with him. Over the years, the good times aren't as good. No shit. A lot of things aren't as fun, and a lot of resentment has built up over loads of different reasons on both sides. I'm sure. You think? You don't think he can tell that you don't want to be near him physically? You don't think that he can tell that you don't, have the same sparkle that he does and the same tingle that he does? Holy crap. Other than not being attracted to him or wanting to have sex with him, and him being overly sexual in every conversation, he seems, in caps, pretty perfect. Now, not the whole time. This person's English, I don't know if I'm reading this verbatim, okay? This is not voiceover speaking to me. I am reading this on a braille display. And trying to read this person's grammar is very difficult. I'm gonna guess that because you're not sexually attracted to him, every, compliment he gives you, every, anything innocuous he says to you, you're probably taking as sexual innuendo. And you know what? He's probably trying to express that he's sexually frustrated with innuendo. So, you know, like, he's trying to tell you something, dude, and you're just like, oh my god, all you talk about is sex. Would you shut up? Oh my god. Like, what a horrible person you are. Okay. This is how this sentence starts. Took a long time for him to actually get his act together. He cooks and cleans and is a great dad and works and rubs me without asking and is generally and genuinely into me. If you're not physically attracted to him, why do you want him to rub you? I'm very confused. Why would you ask for like massages and rubs and stuff if you didn't want to have sex with him? That's horrible. Like, that in itself, a massage can very often between partners lead to sex. And that's basically like asking him to give you a massage or rub you or whatever is basically telling him, I want you to come over here and be physical and intimate with me. And then you're like, nah. Like, what the fuck? She now goes on to say, now, he's not perfect. He's a bit controlling and judgmental and has big reactions. Now, those generalized words really, really speak loudly to me as red flags that he's actually not any of those things. Because generally, if a person feels controlled or judged in some way, or feels that their partner overreacts, they have like concrete like times where it happened, right? They'll be like, okay, well, there was this one time where I wanted to go visit a friend, and my husband or my partner was like, no, you can't do that. Or this other time when I'm going to use a freaking story from what my uncle did. He wanted to make cookies, banana chocolate chip cookies. And apparently he could not use 2 small bananas. He had to use the one big banana that his wife ate, and he lost his shit because she ate the big banana. Okay? That's a big overreaction. Okay? And that would be a freaking point where, like, she would have a story to tell about why he has big reactions or how he has big reactions. There is nothing. It's all just general. And then she goes on to say, but nothing huge that would be considered bad. So she's walking back everything that she just said. Well, he's controlling and judgmental and angry, but not really. Which means she knows she's in the wrong here. She knows she should have said something 7 years ago, but she didn't, and now she's stuck. So now she says, however, I more often than not feel just absolutely done. We have fun together still, but there's, there is, but now there's just nothing but annoyance whenever I'm around him. Just being around him makes me feel annoyed. Our biggest fight is about sex. No shit. He wants it, I don't. Then she says, he's even to the point now where he's walking around heartbroken most of the time. Yeah, because he loves you and he wants to be with you, and you're basically treating him like he's disgusting. And she says, he's even called me out about it. For not wanting sex, and in quotes, foot out the door, not attracted to him, etc. And he's right about all of it, but I haven't told him because it would just break him. And generally, who wants to hear that from someone, especially from someone that you love? Well, maybe if you had been like a decent human being 7 years ago when you first met him and realized you weren't physically attracted to him, maybe if you hadn't led him on and created life with him, this wouldn't be an issue. She then goes on to say, I'm on a real tightrope about whether I should leave or not. We have a 5-year-old daughter, and I really want her to have a good life. Well, then maybe you should have had a child with somebody you actually love. I don't want her to miss out on time with her parents. And I don't want her to miss out on time. I don't want to miss out on time with her, and I know that he wouldn't want to either. If I leave, I feel selfish that I'm essentially leaving because I'm not sexually fulfilled. Well, yeah, that is selfish because you knew you weren't sexually attracted to him from the get-go. And you still let him on. So, because I feel sexually unfulfilled and generally am not into him. If I don't leave, I feel selfish because he is a good man and deserves a woman that is also as stoked as he is, stoked about him as he is about me. And whether I leave or not, I feel selfish that my daughter either has to grow up not seeing a super healthy relationship or has to grow up in a split household. Again, should have thought of that 7 fucking years ago when you met the dude. I need advice, she says. All my friends just tell me to leave, but none of them have kids. Maybe you should, this sounds like this is her group of friends from like her 20s. And I think they're all probably still younger than her. My mom says to just leave, but she hates him for her own, albeit unserious reasons. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That is ridiculous. Okay. So her mom sounds absolutely like the apple didn't fall far from the tree, it seems. If I stay, I could have a relatively easy and pretty happy life on the outside. But other than that, sexually and somewhat socially be controlled. But like I said, not terribly. You're full of shit. Honestly, this guy sounds just like fucking, just like Driving Ape. A good guy who works hard and loves his kids and loves his wife, and this woman is just fucking, oh my god. I'm reading this and I am like looking at myself and going, how can I make sure that I make Driving Ape know that I love him and want to be around, like, other than like being a good person, like physically, like this person is horrible. My kid grows up with a 2-parent household and gets to see both of us every day. But if I leave, my expenses go up. I have a much more strained relationship with my child's father. And our kid goes between us. It's hard, but at least I won't have to pretend that I'm interested in someone that makes my skin crawl at this point. And hear about how we don't have enough sex every day for the rest of my life. Wow. Wow. What, like, and I bet you he doesn't even want to have sex. Like, she's making him sound like he wants to have sex like 12 times a day. I bet you he wants sex like maybe once a day. Maybe, like, freaking, Me and Driving Ape, we have sex like freaking twice a day, every day, at least. At least! And we've been together for 18 years. And I bet you this guy just probably wants it a couple times a week. You know what I mean? He probably just wants some intimacy a couple times a week, like maybe just to cuddle up on the couch. Or I bet you she doesn't even cuddle with this dude. Like, this woman is, like, I hope that he finds this Reddit post and leaves her and takes full custody. Because she basically based the entire relationship on a lie, created a child with him based on a lie, and all her worries are basically about her. Oh, my expenses go up. Oh, it'll feel uncomfortable for me, for my kid to go back and forth. Oh, like, what the fuck? And she's 32. Like, she should be well past this this kind of stupid behavior. This is absolutely disgusting. And like I said, I hope this guy finds her Reddit post and, like, cause he knows. He knows in his heart what's going on, but she's just too much of a coward to actually tell him. And I hope that he finds the Reddit post and just leaves. I really do. This is something that is absolutely horrible, and this is why so many men are just so disillusioned with relationships. This is why the red pill community still exists, because women like this still exist. And it's very sad. And it's like, it just makes me so ashamed of some women and makes me very sad for her partner and her child. And I just hope that he can find a woman that will treat him and his child the way that they deserve. And I hope that she, the nice thing to say would be, I hope she grows and gets counseling and changes, but the blind press thing to say is, I hope she suffers for the rest of her life and is very, very lonely. What a horrible person. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.